Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the hidden math behind a massive $30,000 decision that honestly, most people get completely wrong. We're talking about leasing versus buying a car. Because once we look past those slick commercials and run the hard numbers, the results are genuinely fascinating. To really understand this, let's set up a scenario with two guys, Jake and Marcus. Now, they are on completely equal footing. They both earn $55,000 a year, and they both want the exact same $30,000 sedan. I mean, same model, same trim, same color. They even walk into the exact same dealership on the exact same day. The only difference is the paperwork they sign. Jake goes with a 36-month lease, puts $2,000 down, and walks away with a payment of $299 a month. Marcus, on the other hand, takes out a 60-month auto loan at 6%. He puts $3,000 down, and his monthly payment is $522. That is a $223 difference every single month.
So you've got to wonder, who made the smarter financial choice here? I mean, on day one, Jake feels fantastic. His pockets are heavier, his monthly payment is super light, and he's got a brand new car under full warranty. But there is a hidden trap here. The fundamental structure of Jake's deal is totally different from Marcus's, and it goes way beyond that initial monthly payment. Because every dollar Marcus spends is buying him a tiny piece of something. Every dollar Jake spends, he's just renting it.
But let's be real, the early years are super stressful for Marcus. There is this chronological anxiety that buyers face. Literally, the moment Marcus drives his $30,000 car off the lot, boom, it's worth about $27,000. By year one, it's down to $23,000. By year two, it's hovering around $20,000. But his loan balance is still sitting high at $22,000. He's literally watching his car lose value in real time, all while shelling out $522 a month.
And that brings us to a terrifying word in personal finance: underwater. For those first 2 years, Marcus actually owes more than the physical car is worth. Every single payment feels like it's just being thrown into a black hole. To Jake, and honestly to all their friends, it seems incredibly obvious that Jake made the right call.
Let's look at the actual scoreboard at the end of year 3. Jake's down payment plus his 36 months of fees brings his total spend to $12,764. Marcus's heavier monthly payments bring his total up to $21,792. So on paper, Jake is absolutely dominating by nearly $10,000. But listen, year 3 is exactly where this entire story takes a massive turn. At the end of year 3, Jake's lease is up. He basically has 3 choices. Option 1, he can buy the car at its residual value, which is just that predetermined price the dealer set way back on day 1. Option 2, he can just walk away. Or option 3, lease a brand new car. Jake does exactly what 80% of people who lease do. He signs a brand new contract, puts another $2,000 down, and his odometer resets to 0. But, and this is crucial, his payment counter never stops.
There is a phrase that perfectly captures this reality. One is a conveyor belt, the other has a finish line. It's brilliant because Jake is stuck on a conveyor belt, right? He's just repeating the exact same cycle over and over. Marcus is 36 months into a 60-month loan. Yeah, he still has payments left, but his finish line is clearly circled in red on the calendar.
Fast forward to month 60, and Marcus makes his final payment. He is done. By the end of year 6, the only things Marcus is paying for are gas, insurance, and standard maintenance. Meanwhile, Jake has completed 2 full leases. He is still swiping his card for $299 every single month. For Jake, car payments have just become this permanent background noise, and background noise costs a lot of money.
So by the end of year 6, the math has quietly, completely flipped. Jake has spent over $25,000, and what does he have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. Just a pile of receipts. Marcus spent over $34,000 on his loan, but here is the magic. He now owns a car outright that's worth about $12,000. When you subtract that retained asset value from his total spend, Marcus's effective cost is significantly lower. He is officially pulling ahead.
Now, to really grasp why this happens, we need to uncover the hidden traps of leasing. That monthly payment is just the shiny number they put on the commercial.
What they definitely don't show you is the dense list of conditions attached to it. Let's break those down. First up, mileage caps. Most leases allow 12,000 miles a year, but the average American drives 13,500. At 25 cents a penalty mile, you are looking at a massive surprise tax. Then you have wear and tear, where suddenly a spilled coffee is a billable offense.
There are disposition fees, meaning you literally pay them anywhere from $300 to $500 just for the privilege of giving their own car back. And finally, severe early exit penalties if your life circumstances happen to change.
But hey, to be completely fair and objective, we have to look at the other side. Buying has its own very real, tangible costs.
It is definitely not all sunshine and equity, especially as the car ages. Once that factory warranty expires, everything falls on Marcus. Post-warranty, a typical sedan is going to run you about $1,200 to $1,800 a year in maintenance. Sometimes it's just an oil change. Sometimes it's a blown transmission that completely ruins your month. Plus, you have evaporating depreciation. However, the catch is that depreciation slows down dramatically after the first few years. That makes time the buyer's absolute best friend.
Let's pull all of this together into the ultimate 10-year scoreboard. Over a single decade, Jake has leased 3, maybe 4 cars. Between the down payments, the fees, and all those penalties, he spent roughly $48,000, and his asset value is literally zero. Marcus, on the other hand, paid off his loan and absorbed all that out-of-pocket maintenance. His total spend sits around $46,000. So Marcus spent less money overall, and he still has a fully paid-off $5,000 asset sitting right in his driveway.
So, the difference over 1 decade is about $20,000 in Marcus's favor. But here is the crazy compounding reality. Most people repeat this cycle over their entire adult life. If you multiply that $20,000 gap by, say, 5 decades, the wealth gap between someone who habitually leases and someone who buys explodes to a staggering 6 figures. We are talking about literal life-changing money here.
Now, I'd be lying to you if I said leasing never makes sense. The math isn't universally one-sided. So let's quickly outline the specific scenarios where leasing actually is the smarter play.
First off, if you are self-employed, lease payments can very often be deducted as a business expense. Huge advantage. Second, if you're driving high-performance luxury cars, out-of-warranty maintenance on those is genuinely brutal, so at least protects you. And finally, if you take that $223 a month you save by leasing and faithfully invest it into an index fund averaging 8%, you could absolutely come out ahead. But you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Are you actually going to invest that money every single month, or are you just going to spend it?
And that brings us to our core takeaway for today. Jake and Marcus both thought they were making the smartest play possible, but neither of them actually ran the math past month 1. The real trap isn't inherently the act of leasing or buying. The real trap is making a massive 5-figure financial decision based entirely on a short-term monthly payment.
For the average person driving an average car, buying and holding clearly wins the marathon. So the very next time you're sitting in a dealership and a salesperson slides an incredibly attractive monthly payment across the desk, I want you to pause and ask yourself one simple question. What does this actually cost me when it's all over? Because ultimately, that is the only number that matters. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will see you next time.